With 3 seasons under its belt now, Dragon Ball FighterZ has seen top tiers come and go. Way back in Season 1, Bardock was at the top of the food chain. Though he's been a victim of nerfs and power creep over the years, he still has a dedicated base that continues to fight on. One of those devoted players is none other than Coach Steve, a longtime fighting game favorite. Coach Steve has put immense work into mastering Bardock, and today he shares the secret sauce. What is up, y'all? KRCPinto here. Today I'm hanging out with the one and only Coach Steve. He's gonna show us how he makes Bardock work, repping the bandana, man. Steve, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. How you doing, bro?
Doing great. Stoked to have you on. Stoked to talk about Bardock. Used to be like on every single team. Now he's a little less popular, but still a baller character, man.
Yeah, he's fallen off a bit in terms of like popularity, but he's still really strong. He's been doing pretty much the same thing since like day one, you know, minus a few changes that did decrease his popularity, but I still think he's a really strong character on most teams.
Well, I'm stoked to walk through him with you today. You ready to get started?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. All right, man. So first up's a low ball. What's your favorite move of Bardock's and why? It can be a normal, special, super, whatever you like best.
Gut punch. Just easily gut punches. It's like you just get deleted. This shit is so fucking cool. Like, just do this, and then like when you're trying to like casually just bait reflex, and it's like you see them like charge it, or like they try and reflect like a key blast or something. Just like, yeah, you kind of just died. I'll put him on guard first. Yeah, and then they just lost their character. And you can pretty much like TOD from this too. Like,
does that give you medium scaling?
It's like I don't know if it's not medium. It's better than medium though.
Oh.
It's like whatever better than medium is, because it's definitely not medium. It's one of those moves. It's like, well, if they block it, then they actually take chip damage. It's just good, which is like really rare for this game. There's only like a couple of moves like I could think of off the top of my head, like gut punch or any like destructo disc type move. Those are like the only ones that really do chip damage. It's like 5% too, so it's a reasonable amount. It's good.
That's something to sneeze at. It gives you good frames too, right?
Yeah. Plus four on block. The only downside to this move is if they were to like actually reflect it, then he's punishable if they're ready for it. But you since you can charge it, like he's minus 23. Like since you could charge it, and if you read a reflect, then you can do things like that.
Yeah, you had him almost halfway dead, and you didn't even launch him yet. Jeez.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage. Definitely does a lot of damage.
That's sick. Gotta love that.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite move next to like Lariat and his jab. Like EX Lariat is really cool, and his stand jab hits like everything.
Yeah, so. The infamous auto combo on this guy. Up there in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good.
All right, this one's kind of a no-brainer, but what do you think is his best assist and why? I think I know the answer.
Oh, for like picking Bardock's assist, it's definitely Bardock B. Yeah. There's no need to really pick any of the other one. Like, they're all good though, but none of them will give you like really everything Bardock B can give you. Like Bardock B is giving you like really high block stun. Right, it hits from really far away. Like, look at that. It's 35 frames plus 46 or something. You take them off reflect, but like it's a lot. So like even a character like Jiren, who doesn't really have like mix like that, can now mix you. Like, you know, I'll do something like that, like a IAD, fake IAD, stay same side. Like it'll give every character mix like that. So that's definitely an assist that you want to pick. Plus, the assist itself, which nobody really like talks about, it actually does like 1,000 damage, which is not like, that's not normal. Like every other assist does like 800. I think Jiren B does 800 as well, but that does 1,000, and it also chips you too. Jeez. So yeah, it's like one of those minute things that people don't really like note about the assist, but it's really, really strong. And then you know, like it'll allow like for really easy combos too, from pretty much anywhere at any scaling too, because it has a lot of hit advantage. Right, so yeah, you're just floating there forever, and then you know you can continue however you need to. So it's pretty like all-purpose. The range is pretty far, considering the nerf that they gave it. Like I still call it from here, and I'm still able to hit you. So like yeah, do things like that. Like that hit really high up. Jesus Christ, I was not even ready for that.
He's got that reach.
Yeah, it's good. Definitely really one of the best assists in the game for sure.
All right, so you run Bardock point. Do you think that's his best team position?
Yes and no. It kind of depends on I guess who's available on your team. For my team, he's best on point because he's gonna have the easiest time like getting the hit. Like I said, like Jiren is not like too like mix heavy. Bardock's movement is really good, and like you know he has presence almost everywhere because like he has the full screen lariat threat and things like that. Like he has really good jabs. His 2L goes like really far, so he can use the assists to mix like really well. And when he gets the hit, he builds like a crazy amount of meter most of the time. Yeah, so that's a 2-bar combo like for nothing, you know. And then like for my team, I just you know you bring in Broly under those best circumstances, and then you just smoke them. But but for that, Bardock is definitely best on point, and like he has like really good jab strings, things like that. Like his staggers are amazing. His Ki Blast is good. I mean, I wish he had you know multiple like you know the other like top tiers, but that's like kind of where like the separation is in a sense. So, but he can still hold it down, especially with the right assist.
He was getting put mid a lot at the beginning of the season before they nerfed that assist. Do you think that's a little less viable now that he doesn't like full track with Bardock B?
No, I still think that's the other reason. Like if you have like a really good point, let's say like if you're playing Gotenks, like Gotenks Bardock, like their synergy kind of changed over time because you don't really need Gotenks A anymore, and Bardock A too. So you could run Gotenks point instead, have Bardock B, you know, mixing whatever the case may be. Because Gotenks also builds like a lot of meter, and you have Ghost Oki, then you have like, you know, a bunch of 50-50s after 50-50. So running him point and having Bardock be just like the high block stun assist to make sure you can always be in that position to mix them is really good too.
So Bardock got some good tools for closing the gap, but a little weaker on the projectile side. How do you approach neutral with this character? Ideally, you want to be in the mid-range because you're a lot more threatening in range for Lariat, like always. So you really want to just like be in range to always be able to do this move. When you have EX bar, you know, that's different because then you have like the full screen version. But it's typically like a lot of like his air Ki Blast because the angle is really good, right? Like you can float, Ki Blast, something like that, like Lariat. If they try to move, they just get clipped, and they just they'll either get hit for a full combo, or you take the hit advantage from the Lariat to frame trap them, and you know do things like that. Because people, for whatever reason, still like you know they really try and like press a lot of buttons even after like hit. So you can take all your turns, like whenever possible, just take your turns best you can. And then, you know, with assists like Jiren B is like a really like explosive and like fast assist too. And it helps Bardock because it's projectile involved. So you could do things like that to help your neutral out. Because Lariat normally wouldn't go through that, right? But you have Jiren B in neutral. And then on block, Jiren B is good too. Like it's plus 29 on block. It's a 20 frame assist, so it's fast. So if you could like place your assist calls like really well in neutral to help out the fact that Bardock only has like one Ki Blast and like you know he can't really just like play here all the time like he wants to, then that's like really good. And then of course like you have like the moon jumping
not moon jumping, but like using lariat like to get close, like air lariat, but then you're grounded assist. Like, you know, something like that. It's really good. And those really like help as neutral. And then the reward, like, you know, when he hits you, like, and when anything hits you, the meter build is like really good. So that's like probably like his best feat, I think. If I can get the combo. Let's do this one. This one goes meter too, depending on like, you know, who you have on your team and whatnot. But that's pretty much how like the neutral goes with Bardock. And then your reward is just always just constant meter. Like right there is almost a level 3, right? And then pretty much when that happens, like you have the choice, right? You can always keep in Bardock, right? Usually for my team structure, I usually just get him out and bring in Broly because Bardock already did his job. See if I can get the third bar with this. Yeah. Trying to remember the actual route when I get like a hit like that. But yeah, and then now, you know, for my team in particular, Broly's here, he's in. And the first time your opponent sees Broly is on a hard knockdown level 3. And then they just have to guess what's going to happen after.
Right, never a good time.
Yeah. So that's like... That's pretty much like the basis of like my team. Like it's you're playing for Broly at the end of the day, but like Bardock does a really good job of like building the bar, getting the hit for it. So while doing a lot of damage too, like he's gonna do like 3.5 to 4K each touch, and by each touch I mean like reasonable, like, you know, like not your 2M starter from the corner, but like, oh, that random super dash hit. Okay. Yeah, that random super dash hit, and then you still lost 5.2, 5.3K because I built 2 bars, a little over 2 bars, and then yeah, party time.
I like that.
So that's how that works. Yeah, that's always been like how my team functions. But Bardock does that job really well because of how much meter he gains and how I don't want to say how easy it is to get the hit, but he has an easier time than Jiren would.
Do you think it's more crucial, like at this point in the game, to build the assists around Bardock more around controlling space in neutral? Kind of like, you know, you've got Z Broly A and you already showed off Jiren B, how that lets him ignore key blocks.
Yeah, because that's what he lacks, right? Like he can't really cover all this space like safely. Like he has Lariat, but then like he's coming down pretty much in no man's land. So like having like the extra coverage like on the screen period is really helpful for him. Like other good assists for him is like Baby B, S Broly B is good. Like so some of the ones that cover like the airspace that he can't cover because his key blast is aimed down, right? So if he wants to cover this space, he has to do it himself. And you don't always want that like in a team game because like you're putting your point character at risk because you want this space to be like occupied by anything that you have. So you can just let the assist do that for you, you know?
Yeah.
And then like if they get hit, then they're like you just get your combo. Or if they block it, then you know you can probably safely approach on the ground if it has a lot of block stun, like Baby B as I mentioned. So having that bit of screen control is just really important for Bardock because he can't cover everything. But he does like other things like really well. Like let's say like raw tag is like really popular. Yeah, right. So he has invincible supers. So like not everybody has an invincible level 1. So like something like this, like people would normally try and like jab there. You don't have to do that because you just have an invincible level 1. So you can use that to your advantage as well. Right. And of course anybody can level 3, but here now you just lost 2.2K, you know, your full screen. So like they're hurting, and that next touch will probably kill them too, like with the right combo.
All right, let's talk about where I think this character shines a lot. Let's say you won neutral, you've got them blocking. Now you've got to pressure them and mix them up. What are you doing to make people slip up? How are you making people sweat when you've got them in block?
There's a few things you can do. Like so his J or his 2L and his JM are like really good. So like, let's say in the mid screen, because that's like, even though you want neutral, you might not necessarily be in the corner yet. But like the typical mix in this game, which is like probably like the stronger type, is super dash and then assist, right? So like when you time it right, those are still true string, and then Bardock can mix you from there. It's kind of hard to time this. All right, so I can go low. I can go overhead. I can go same side. You know, anything of the sort. So you can pretty much get like a 3-way mix. 3-4-way mix. In the corner, you get like the 50-50 because his low reaches. And then that's still like a true block string too. So like they just have to take that. And that'll all jail like hit on the same frame. So it's just like a true 50-50. And you do the same thing with Broly assist. It's just harder because he has less block stun. Less block stun and like the startup is different. Like that was same side when I wanted to go behind you. All right, so pretty much that's like how he would be getting like his hit after like winning neutral. And it's important to practice it though too. Oh my god, my fingers. All right, so like same side, and Broly, because of Broly's like the explosion, like that's what really like makes it like difficult to see. Because like Bardock is kind of just like in the explosion. Yeah. So you can get pretty much like 3-4-way mix. Like after you're like in their face, like you're blocking. And then like there's another thing too, like assistless basically. It's his stagger game. Like, so I put him on guard first only, and then I have him reflect. Now his normal characters like 2L, 5L, right? These like jail like true strings. Bardock's jab has like 8 frames of block stun extra. So like the 2L will jail really late, like up to frame 15 if I can get that. Right, so on frame 16 they reflect. On frame 14 that's still a true string. And this like really catches people like mashing reflect because they want to just get you off of them, you know? Like frame 15 that's still jailed. That's not normal like at all. Like things jailing that late. Like Gotenks, like he can't, his won't jail that late. Like he gets reflected on frame 12. Like it won't ever jail. Like those extra 3 frames really do a lot. Right, so like this string right here is just really good because like if they're mashing reflect, then they'll just get clipped. Then they're in the corner. As Bardock's like all his routes are corner carry base, you know. So I can always do something like this. If they're not completely in the corner yet, then you end an EX spin because EX spin really drags them to the corner. And then this is here like where you don't want to be. You don't want to be here against Bardock.
And that's just with the normals, you know. Like we were talking about earlier when you
this
get
like
Tire Lancer in the mix.
Yeah, this is like the main stagger right here. Like stop here, do 2L, 2L. You could do something like that, you know, like anything like really like catch them like slipping. And then, you know, he has good anti-reflect too. Like something like that. Or anything into Lariat. Like if you like time it, pretty much like all anti-reflect. So he's really good like in that department. And then you could do like Key Blast or something. All right, so like you can do something like that. If they reflect immediately, then you know you can get the 2M, or like you can like kind of react to it and see. And then like any normal character, you can just go straight through with the whole string. All right, and then that if they get hit by the H hit, then you know then they're definitely just in the corner. So, oh my god, I did it too early. All right, so now they're just corner to corner, you know, and then next hit they're probably gonna die because you're gonna start out with like a bit of meter to get like either level 3 or you know the AC damage, which for this team is good. Everybody's in the 800s. So
does being in the corner open up any unique pressure options for him at all, or any like unique solo mix?
Not necessarily solo mix, but he does get some interesting options. Like so let's say I do like a regular hard knockdown or like a slide knockdown, and you up tech, right? So let's put him on guard first only, but don't switch, so that way I can just start with a 2L. All right, so let's say I do regular basic EMB. So you want to end at M spin usually, because you get the most frame advantage, and you know you can get like safe jumps. You can cover both techs, like etc. So when you do that, like the most basic one that I do, like just for complete safety, is just backdash, jump H. All right, so that'll give me a few options here, right? So I can jab here, right? I'm still plus. If I do that jab, then I can, depending on my assists, I can do super dash, because that's a true string. Like, see how it didn't jail here, but if they block the jab in the air and you super dash, that's a true string. And then I'll just get like my free 50-50 with my assists. By myself, I can do gut punch. And like if he tries to jab, then he gets counter hit. And as I mentioned before, if you get hit by this, you're exploding. Yeah. I wish that hit. But yeah. I wanted to see, actually. I wasn't sure. But yeah. So that kind of pressure is like really good. He has like another, pretty much like, let's say I can do that and get my combo that way, which is it's also not like a common thing with Bardock either. Like if you look at my input, I'm inputting jab and then auto combo. Like if I do that with Jiren, that doesn't like just happen. Like it's like kind of a weird thing that they put in this game. Oh, it does happen with him. Okay, good to know. There's a few characters I play that doesn't happen with. Like you'll just get like a different kind of hit that you don't want. Right. But that'll pretty much like I know what it is. It's the on block. On block it looks weird. At least it should. You put them on guard all. Yeah, so I get 4L 4L. With Bardock I get like the M instead, which is it's better because more hit advantage. I mean more block advantage. Oh my god. Yeah, so instead of being plus 11, plus 18, then you can definitely just get like better mix like that. I don't know why it does that for him. It's like it's just weird. I never actually understood that, but I found that like really helpful and useful.
These are the questions we don't ask. We don't need them to notice.
It's just useful though. It really is. So, but yeah, he gets like pressure like that. It's really good.
That's odd. It's kind of nuts that he can like JH into jab to carry you down to the ground. Like that. I mean, obviously, his jab is ridiculous, and we talked about that a little bit already. But like, that's great. Yeah, that's strong. Yeah. So like, since it covers both techs, it's good. If they try and like reflect tag, you're able to recognize fast enough. So let me do. So he's just gonna get up like without up tech, and then I'll put him on play recording. All right, because you could very easily recognize that, and then just punish them accordingly. And then now their second character has to guess for their life now instead. So, and then by this time, like they'll probably have to activate Spark at least. And yeah, so you're pretty much just in control most of the time. Okay, so we've kind of entered this area already now, but let's talk about it a little more in depth. How's Bardock's Oki? You know, this is one of the characters who like way back in the day, he had that like super clean level 3 Oki and kind of was like the pioneer for this game of that. Yeah, so it's weaker.
It's still there, but like it's weaker and a little harder. So like, cause I don't necessarily like have the cleanest like Oki setups with Bardock, but especially like it's level 3, right? Cause like it's not as easy as it used to be. Like in season 1, you just do up lariat and then dash button or fall button, and then just easy 50-50. But now he doesn't have like the same like the same frame advantage to get like all that. The truest Bardock Okis is like the moon jump ones. Like I can do something like this, right? I can go overhead low like that. So this is the one that I do, and it's still good. Like it's still good. It works if you time it right. It's like a safe jump. I'm doing that one completely wrong, but yeah, I'm supposed to super jump and then dash. I think I'm just dashing like a little too early. Yeah, so I could do something like that, right? And then like the low and the air jab. I'm probably better off using air M, but like I'm not really too sure about that. I haven't really like played with that too much, but that's pretty much like the corner Oki that he has. And like I said, if you do it right, it's it should safe jump. Which is at worst what you want, right? Like if you can't really get like a true 50-50, there you go. Like if you can't get like the truest 50-50, then you want to at least be able to safe jump them so that way they can't like mash 2H or a button or something like that.
Would you do the same thing mid-screen?
Nah, mid-screen, like you have to do the moon jump one, which like I said, I never really learned how to do. That's the one that like you see like Goichi do.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't even. I be forgetting how to moon jump in this game. So like sometimes, like even when I get a mid screen level 3, I'm definitely just gonna just run up and press jab or something. Like, all right, you're just gonna just stay here, I guess, because I can't mix you right now.
That's the working man's Oki.
Yeah, I'm just fucking run up and like, yeah, what's up? Yeah.
That's what Bardock would want in canon, I think.
Yeah.
Give it to him.
Yeah, we don't need this Oki you speak of. Yeah, so that's pretty much what like how I handle it. But that's another thing. Like, so like on my team, like you know, Broly at the end of the day has the strongest Oki. So bringing in Broly also there is just like better.
How often do you end up in a solo Bardock situation with your team? Like, is that like a pretty rare occurrence?
If it does happen, I messed up somewhere. Because Broly is not supposed to die early in the game. Like, if that happens, like that's definitely my fault. But I do find myself in that situation like a bit, and it really comes down to like, if I can play like the cleanest neutral of my life, especially if they're playing something like really cheap, like let's say like Gotenks 21, which is supposed to be like an impossible comeback, honestly. But if I'm playing like the cleanest neutral and I really avoid just getting like level 3 by 21 or like just getting like cheaped out in general, then I can make the comeback because Bardock's damage is good, meter build's good, so I can always have like the level 3 stock, and you know like limit break damage helps as well, so I can make those comebacks. But if I'm in that position, where did I go wrong? So yeah, like I want to like avoid that altogether. It's not the worst thing in the world because like I can still hit people, you know, Bardock like pretty clean. Like the worst situation for me is probably like if Jiren is by himself, it's just harder to get the hit. But if it's Bardock, like it doesn't always feel like too bad. But like if they play like the matchups correctly, then yeah, it might be a little rough.
Makes sense.
The other option, I mean, they could just get hit by Gut Punch like 3 times and lose all their characters, which I have done before, like, you know, tournament and stuff like that. Like, okay, you're just going to get hit by Gut Punch, so now I just win the game. Cool.
All right, let's talk about when the shoe's on the other foot. You know, Bardock, he gets in your face, he applies crazy pressure. He's very offense heavy. What happens when he has to block? Does he have any, like, defensive maneuvers he can pull off that can help you in a pinch? Like, does he take advantage of any system mechanics well?
So you can do something like Reflect Lariat, I think is good. Especially EX Lariat. EX Lariat has like a bigger hitbox. I'm gonna do it like in the sense of like let's say Gotenks. So Gotenks does, let's say, beam into vanish or something, right? Like he's just in my face. All right, and do something really basic like that. Now, I can reflect, right? His anti-reflect strings, like Gotenks, are not that great. I can backdash, and sometimes like I do like reflect EX spin. EX spin is 7 frames. So for a special move, that's just really fast.
Yeah, you did that to me, I think. Nice.
Yeah, or I can like backdash EX spin. Like it's fast with like a pretty like good hitbox too. So and then you get like the ground bounce. With my team, if I call Jiren early enough, you know, I can continue to combo like that. Oh, whoops, way too high for that. But you get the point. Like EX spin is really good. It's also like safer than not necessarily like safer than EX Lariat. It's like the pushback is like a little different. Especially the air one. Like air one is -2. Right? So like you can do like little tricks like that. Alright, you can do something like that. EX spin being -2 in the air is good because then like if they try and like jab, then they can't they just most characters just can't. I'm not gonna say everybody because Bardock can definitely jab himself. Yeah, but something like that, like you want to take your turn on -2, but you can't. Whereas like if I do it here, he can. Right, like I won't get my jab. Same thing with like Lariat. Like Lariat, I have to backdash, and like that's hard because like I pretty much have like a frame left to kill on a backdash, and then some characters can just chase me down well. Like, there's anybody with a good jab, like UI would pretty much beat the backdash, or etc. Reflect into like his special moves, I think is good because they just have huge hitboxes.
How fast does that invincible super come out? Like, can you use that as a reversal at all? Is it frame 1?
He can. It's frame 1. They can vanish. So I try not to like usually use it like that because they can usually just vanish away. But it is an option. You know, you just get the hell off me. All right, it's definitely just frame 1 involved. If they don't have meter, I think it's a lot better to do. And it's good because it's a level 1 invincible, not a level 3. So you don't want to spend 3 bars and be wrong.
Right. Yeah, I'd hate to do that. I can't imagine what kind of person would just throw out a random level 3 and
same
it in a match.
But yeah, like he has the options, you know, and then like he has long buttons, so like backdash 2M is good, 5L, you know, anything of the sort like that. Like he can fight. Like he could definitely fight. He doesn't gotta take like everything.
Fast. I have a closer question. Do you have anything you want to go over that we haven't touched on before we move to that? That you think like is important for people to know about Bardock?
I would just say like you want to learn like all of his loops, like especially like the corner loops, the sparking loops. Like you really want to learn those because that's what makes you the battery that you are. Right? So, and of course there's like a bunch of different variations of like his loops. All right, you can do this one. And then, you know, you have your assists available. Then, you know, you can get that like pretty much 2 bars always. That's pretty much like the rule of Bardock. Just like build 2 bars always because you can. Like anytime you can build that much meter, you definitely want to. See, and then this combo's easy too. Like 4K, I didn't even do like an actual loop. You know, like I did 1 rep and then do like a regular basic Airbnb. And then like his spark loops, you know, those are pretty straightforward also. I think here I only get one because I started with jab. Oh no, okay, I get two. Yeah, so you want to learn that as well, because like they'll kill with the right starter. Like 2M starter, you'll be able to pretty much kill everybody. Let me see. Oh, he was too high, but he would have died though. Right. I would have got the 5th bar, stuff like that. But learning those is really important. The mid-screen loop, it's a little different because you don't have the heavy, so definitely want to practice it. Oh my god. It just drags you to the corner. Drag you to the corner, you get a lot of meter because you're in Spark. Doesn't keep happening. Oh my god, I can't do loops today. Pain. Good thing I have nothing important to do after this. Yeah, so all those loops you definitely want to learn for sure. And just like optimizing your routes with assists from like the scaled starters, the 2L starter, super dash starter, like I showed before. It's like taking 4K or 3.5K from a super dash with no meter is really, really good. And those things are like probably the most important things with Bardock that you wanna really get down. Cause that's like some blessed meter build. Like not every character can just build 2 bars like that easily.
Right. Coach Steve, if someone came to you today and said, look man, I'm thinking about playing Bardock, I'm a bit on the fence about it, what would you say to them to push them over the fence? Why should someone play Bardock in Season 3.5 of Dragon Ball FighterZ?
Oh, just press jab. You might actually change your mind. This jab is amazing. It's important to the game to have like a really good fast button that has like a crazy hitbox. Like look at UI Goku. People press jab with UI Goku and they look like incredible players sometimes. And sometimes they are, but sometimes UI Goku is just better than us, you know? But the jab, the lariat, you know, aesthetically to me, Bardock is cool. He just looks angry all the time.
Big facts.
Yeah, like I have a hard time like sitting still. Like I look at his idle stance and I just want to like punch something. Like so I just do it.
Oh, especially Scar side. Scar side is so much better. Yeah,
Scar side is like I can't like sit here. I have to lariat you. But he's actually really good, and I think he's a good entry level character too. I don't think he's too difficult. But he's good to show you like what's good in the game, like on both ends, like the flaws and like his strengths as well. So I think he's a really good character for people to learn. Cause you're gonna go from Bardock to like, let's say somebody with less meter build. Like let's say like solo Bardock meter build versus solo Broly meter build. Definitely not the same, right? Like Bardock definitely builds more, but Broly has other strengths too. So then like you start to learn what you want to prioritize and how you want to play the game, which is how I figured out how I want to play the game. So that's why this works for me. Might not work for everybody, but it's held me down for the entire of Season 3. So that's pretty much it.
Let's plug your stuff real quick. You know, you stream, you've got YouTube. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so you guys can follow me on Twitter, first and foremost, of course, at FightCoachFight. On Twitch, it's twitch.tv/I'm Coach Steve. And on YouTube, you can just type, I think, Coach Steve. I think it'll finally come up because we finally ascended.
There it is.
But yeah, my channel will be Coach Steve on YouTube. So post content regularly, stream regularly. So you guys get a lot of Dragon Ball out of me. And then, of course, like other fighting games too, because I still play many other fighting games.
You been playing Marvel lately?
Yeah. I play Marvel and Dragon Ball the most. And then like Street Fighter Cross Tekken on the side.
All right, man. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for taking the time.
No problem. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys learned a lot, got a lot out of this. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Of course, man. It's my pleasure.
Yeah.